Let's see. Okay. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Hope all is well. No, I know it's been a minute since I did some uploads, but nevertheless, I'm going to try to keep this one not too long, though. Because I do got to go into work tonight and babysit these inmates, unfortunately. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I got this new phone here and I'm learning how to use it. So if I'm messing up or doing something crazy, just disregard until I get used to using it. Sure, I'm still uploading. Okay, but nevertheless, I thought it was imperative that I did this particular content. I want to make this pretty quick. It's in reference definitely to Vanessa Bryant, and I'm gonna make sure I do this video respectfully. I don't believe in pouring water on somebody when they're drowning. That's just not my style. And unlike you get a lot of content creators that definitely, when it comes to these type of situations, it's all about clout. It's all about trying to get views and everything. But I also feel like at the end of the day, you have to be very careful with how you articulate or how you speak on somebody's situation, because the very thing could happen to you. So you got to be careful and be mindful of how you address people's situation and how you comment on their trials and tribulations, because again, anybody can fall short, anybody can go through anything at any given moment. So none of us are exempt from problems and going through, or whatever the case may be. Oh gosh, all these damn notifications. Let me go ahead and mute the hell out of this for like 8 hours. Okay, but I just wanted to address a few things. What's up to Titan? Bina, and I do not want to butcher your name. I'ma just say Jackson. I'm not gonna butcher your name. But nevertheless, I just kind of want to speak on a couple of things, addressing some of the things that's been going on with Miss Bryant. As we all know, 2020 has been a hell of a goddamn year. We've been dealing with coronavirus. We've been losing legends. We done lost Chadwick Boseman, Kobe Bryant. Everybody is still recuperating from the loss of him. And 2020 has not had our best interests at heart. It's really been a terrible year this year, for a lot of people. But none of us have had it near as hard as Vanessa Bryant, widow of NBA legend Kobe Bryant. And she's definitely had a rough year, 2020. As we already know, we don't have to go through the details. We don't have to repeat and recite the same thing we already been hearing. We already know Kobe Bryant. Airplane crash claimed his life, along with his daughter. Also, several others, also who was also on that plane. A lot of them have not been acknowledged as near as much as Mr. Bryant, of course, because he's the celebrity that is well known. So a lot of these deaths have been overshadowed, basically due to him being a celebrity. But nevertheless, my heart goes out to everybody who has lost. What's up, Virgo Houston, and my little brother entering. So everybody has been impacted by this death in some way or another. Even if you didn't know Kobe Bryant personally, you either was a fan of his or you knew him for all of his notoriety and all of his accomplishments in some form or another. Everybody has basically, has some type of bonding with, Kobe Bryant and his success. But this is what I want to speak upon with Vanessa Bryant. Allegedly, now she has put her mother out. If y'all haven't heard, she put her mother out her home, and she also repossessed her mother's vehicle. So basically, Vanessa Bryant has been going through a lot. Social media paparazzi has not been sparing this woman, has not been having any compassion for her during her grieving. It's just been one thing after another. Now it's gotten to the point, it's bad enough she was not bonding with the Bryants. She doesn't have a very good relationship with Kobe Bryant's parents. On top of that, now apparently she doesn't have a good relationship with her own family. So basically, it's kind of like a lot of things are starting to unravel for Vanessa Bryant. And hopefully through this process, she can stay strong in it. What's up, Poetic Kales? Hopefully she can stay strong in it. It's a lot that she's up against. And it's one thing, when Kobe Bryant, being a celebrity he was able to carry that weight. He was used to being ridiculed. He was used to dealing with the downfalls that come with being a celebrity. He experienced having to go through scandals. He experienced having to go through paparazzi, basically, constantly trying to target him in his personal life. So Kobe, he was able to basically take the punches. But now that he's not here, his wife is left to have to carry that burden alone. And the sad part is, I really, really wish that Kobe Bryant would have made amends with his family before he passed away, because now it's like, Vanessa Bryant is the one left having to hold the torch, basically, and he's not here to help her carry it. And I cannot, I can relate to Vanessa Bryant, not because I'm nowhere on her status, but being a wife, it is very, very difficult when you're used to having your partner, you're used to having your husband lead you, you're used to your husband constantly taking care of things, you're used to your husband being the one to guide y'all. She's used to Kobe basically being the one to take care of everything. And I'm sure throughout their marriage, Kobe carried that. He took his vows seriously as a husband. He made sure he handled his business regardless of what anybody got to say about Kobe Bryant. At the end of the day, he was a good dude. He was a good husband. After that one scandal, you didn't hear about him getting in any more scandals. You ain't hear nothing about no more groupies coming out the blue. I'm pregnant. I'm carrying this child. You really can't say a whole lot of negative things about Mr. Bryant, because for the most part, his success overshadowed any scandal, anything negative anybody ever had to say about him. The man was fierce. He was a phenomenal basketball player. So people could say what they want to say. At the end of the day, the man accomplished a lot of things that a lot of men, a lot of people won't even be able to accomplish half of it. So again, the scandals and the negative talk is never going to overshadow his legacy. And it's so unfortunate that because of his passing now, Vanessa is the one having to take all of these punches. Again, like I stated, she's not she doesn't have a relationship with his family. A lot of that has to do with how Kobe handled things, and it doesn't make him a bad person. It doesn't mean, people should look down upon him. You have to realize money and family have never mixed. It never has. And it's something about when a person becomes successful, especially when a family has come from poverty. And it's a lot of families that go through this. Master P can tell you. Master P speaks on issues like this all the time. Master P right now also has been catching a lot of heat from people making him feel like he hasn't done enough to get his brother C Murder out of jail. And like Master P was saying, look, I done everything I could do. I schooled him. I told him, stop hanging around a certain crowd. You a star now. C Murder decided he wants to hang out in the projects. He's this big star. He wants to stay in an environment that could bring him down, when Master P was basically trying to tell him, look, dude, you need to come from about that environment. You're not in the hood no more. Just because you was born in the hood, that don't mean you have to stay there. You too big to be in the hood right now. But C Murder wanted to stay true to the hood, and unfortunately the hood is what brought him down. When that young man got murdered, to this day, everybody knows C Murder was not the one who actually did the shooting. But guess what? Because of his name, everybody went after C Murder. And that's who they charge. That's why C Murder is facing life. And of course, because C Murder lives by the street code, he's not going to snitch and say who did it. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to go there. So unfortunately, he was somebody that really could have been great. He was somebody that really could have, continued to progress in the game, but he wanted to stay true to the streets. And I find it very amazing how so many people want to stay true to the streets, but the streets never stay true to them. It's unfortunate. But Master P was basically been putting us on about how money, unfortunately, it can really, really destroy a family foundation. And that is why to this day, Master P and his brother C Murder, they're not close. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have not been really giving Master P his props in saying that he's not looking out for his brother. He hasn't been there for his family. When basically Master P said, I've always been an ATM machine. I've always been there for my brother. And basically that's what happens when you become a star. Your family looks for you to be the one to bail them out of everything. That's just the territory that comes along with it. So back with Vanessa Bryant. Vanessa Bryant and her husband Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, when he became successful, it's a lot of things he had to change because it was becoming very overwhelming to him having to be the savior. And unfortunately, once you become a star in your family, you become a celebrity, people look for you to save them. When you start making those millions, and once you hit that status, your family is going to look for you to take care of them. And Kobe Bryant did that. He brought his parents a home. He brought them cars. He brought his sister cars. I mean, anybody who was born and raised in poverty, and God blesses you to get to a certain level in life where you are able to provide and bless your family because now you're getting all these millions. The first thing you want to do is take care of your family. Who doesn't want to take care of their family and make sure their mom is straight, their dad is straight, their siblings are straight? That's just a natural thing to do, to make sure your family is good. Once you have climbed that ladder of success, you want to make sure everybody is straight. But like we all know, money has a way of changing people. It does. Money just enhances more of your bad qualities. If you're already a greedy person while you broke, you're going to be even greedier when you're rich. If you're already a selfish person when you poor, you're going to be even more selfish when you're rich. If you are a whorish person when you are poor, you're gonna be even more whorish when you are rich. If you are a broke, if you alcoholic when you poor, you're gonna drink even more if you get some millions. So money just enhances more of your bad qualities. So basically, Kobe got to a point to where he had to start cutting his family off because they were doing too much. They were doing too much. Every time you turn around, his sisters was wrecking up cars. They was making bad investments. His family, they just kept reaching in his pocket. And he got to a point to where he had to draw a line and said, you know what? At this point, I'm going to start limiting how much I do for y'all. And that's basically what happened. So it's been a rift with Kobe Bryant and his family for quite some years, okay? Now, on top of that, it's also been a rift with Kobe Bryant's family and Kobe Bryant's wife. Now, the situation has become even more complicated since his death. Because the truth of the matter is, Mr. Bryant, he did not fix this. He didn't make peace with his family. And I'm sure had he known he was going to pass away, I'm sure had he known that, I'm quite sure he would have tried to make peace with his family. He would have tried to reconcile. If he knew that day when he got on that plane was going to be his last day, I'm quite certain he would have picked up the phone and called his mom, called his father, and tried to reconcile and make peace. But it didn't happen that way. And that's why it's so important. I don't know if anybody out there, if any of y'all are beefing with family, you're not talking to family, you're not getting along with family, whatever situation you had with them, go ahead and correct it, because you may not have a lot of time like you think. It may come a point where something may happen to you, something may happen to them, and guess what? You can't speak from the grave. You can't apologize. You can't make it right. I'm sure whatever it is that you're beefing with your cousin, your mom, or your brother, your sister about, even if y'all decide to never be cool again, if y'all decide to never hang out again, at least make amends, because you're going to regret it. You're going to look back and say, you know what, we could have got past that. We could have moved forward. But you have so many people that got pride, and some people, they just love staying angry. Some people, they don't want to fix the situation. It makes them feel powerful to stay angry. That gives them a sense of control. But if anything, all it does, it makes you more of a toxic individual. That's what it does. So anyway, now this is what Vanessa Bryant is going through. Like I said, it's bad enough. She's been catching a lot of heat because when when she put together the funeral for her husband, a lot of people was upset with the fact that she did not let his father speak, his mother wasn't able to speak, his siblings weren't able to speak. Kobe Bryant's family sat in the audience like they was just regular guests. And I never could understand that. I don't know what her reasoning was. I can't judge her. But I felt like that was kind of cold in a sense, because they are grieving just like she is. They're grieving just like her. And I felt like at that point in time, whatever differences, whatever grudges she was holding against them, that was not the time to hold it, because we heard her stories. We got to hear what she said about, how she would cook Kobe's favorite dishes, and how all the moments she shared that Kobe Bryant with, all the moments she shared with Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna. She told us she only shared her personal life, all of her wonderful memories. But I would have liked to hear from his father how he showed him, how he taught him how to shoot his first, ball in the hoops. I would have liked to hear from his mom how he was as a little boy. I would like to have heard from his sisters what kind of big brother he was. I would have liked to have heard, what's up, Third Ward? I would have liked to have heard more. Vanessa Bryant, for whatever reason, she did not extend that privilege to the Bryants. And I think that's kind of disheartening. I don't know what her reasons were or whatever, but truth be told, I don't care how much me and my in-laws are beefing. If God forbid, something tragic happened to my husband, I would allow his family to have the privilege to be able to speak at his funeral. I'm not going to have them just sitting in the audience like they regular guests, and I'm not sure if Vanessa made that call, but being that she is his wife, she had a say so in that. So as far as I'm concerned, the fact that the Bryants was not able to speak on their son, who they gave birth to, what Vanessa Bryant did not realize is, had it not been for him, for the Bryants, you wouldn't have had Kobe. Kobe would have not existed. And that's the least she could have done, was allow them people to voice and shed light on how it was being a parent to such a successful legend. That probably would have been therapeutic for them. But she didn't grant that. Okay, so we already know that Vanessa Bryant does not have a good relationship with the Bryants. And the sad part about that is Kobe Bryant has children who need to know their grandparents, and it's just really messed up the way the situation unfolded. But again, I'm not in Vanessa's shoes. I can only assume. I don't have the facts. I don't have connections to where I can call her and ask her why. I'm not on that level of being a content creator yet, but I can actually get interviews from celebrities. So I'm just assuming. All this stuff is allegedly, y'all. Allegedly. So allegedly, she wouldn't let them speak at their son's and at their brother's funeral. Okay? So a lot of people gave her a lot of heat for that. A lot of people was upset with her for that. Then, like I said, on top of that, now she's putting her mom out. Now her mother is going around giving all kind of interviews now. They're supposed to be her blood mother. Her blood mother is putting her on blast and basically saying that her daughter put out the house, that her daughter repossessed her vehicle. Now, I don't know what event took place to where Vanessa said, you know what, I had it. You got to get out this house, and I'm taking back my car. Now, I don't know, because let's play devil's advocate. Like my father would say, you got his side, her side, and then you have what's called the damn truth. Now, to play devil's advocate, because the mama's going around here doing interviews, pouring down in tears. And what I lose respect for the mother is, you already know your daughter is still grieving over the loss of her husband. The last thing Vanessa needs right now is for you to be going around doing interviews talking about how she put you out the house and how she took your vehicle. But the mother, I guess, is so upset and wants to be heard. She does not care about what Vanessa's going through. And unfortunately, this is what happens. This is what happens when you have money. Family starts rebelling. Family starts cutting up and showing their true colors when you no longer want to go in your bank account. Why she feels she need to do interview. Exactly. I guess at this point now, because, the gravy train has stopped, and this is what happens. That's why you have to be careful how you start people. When you run into money and you start making good money, you have to be careful how you start doing for people. Because what's up, King Ba? Once people get used to you doing for them, and now you take away that privilege, it's like taking candy away from a baby. You're going to deal with tantrums. You're going to deal with attitudes. You're going to deal with a whole lot of mess when you decide to go ahead and cut that gravy train and stop doing extra stuff for people. So basically, that's what has happened. The mother is going around. She's dragging her right now. And at what I'm assuming is Vanessa probably reached a point because maybe her mother was doing too much. We have to realize, all of us out here, some of y'all probably haven't experienced it, but some people have greedy parents. I know somebody personally who still has to take care and pay for their parents' bills to this day. I know a person personally. She's a grown woman. She got her own family, got her own bills, and she still has to pay her dad's light bill. And she still has to pay her mother's medical bills. Unfortunately, and I noticed this mostly with black families, and I'm sure families of other races go through this, but families that have been born and raised in poverty, and that is the whole issue with Vanessa Bryant. This is what a lot of people are not understanding about Vanessa Bryant. Vanessa Bryant comes from poverty, okay? Let's not look at how beautiful and glamorous and gorgeous she is on the red carpet. Vanessa Bryant did not always look like that. Okay? When Kobe met Vanessa, Vanessa was just how can I say this politely? She was a Hispanic descent and poverty. She basically came from the slums of California. Let's just keep it 100. Let's just call it like it is. Vanessa Bryant was not this glamour doll that y'all see today. Okay? Kobe Bryant's money make her look like that. Alright? So, Vanessa Bryant came from the slums of California. The poor parts of California. Okay? And she started going to a prominent, predominantly white high school where the jocks, where the upper class, white folks, prominent people was. Okay? Vanessa Bryant, if you look back at her old photos, she looked like a plain Jane, basic Hispanic broad. And what Vanessa Bryant was trying to do, she was trying to fit in with the white prominent students. Because you got to realize the high school she was going to, it was a lot of well-off, rich white kids who probably had fathers that was doctors and lawyers, and they mothers or judges. She was going to that type of school. So she didn't want to make herself look Mexican. Because I guess in that particular area, being a Hispanic, that was basically like you was a second class citizen to a degree. Okay, 1 second, y'all. Let me get this right here. Hey, yes, sir. I'm on live. That's why I was calling you on the house phone. Hello? No, I still got to check. All right, thanks. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm back. As I was stating, Vanessa Bryant, she came from nothing. Okay, let's just keep it 100. All right, so basically, to try to fit in, Vanessa Bryant dyed her hair blonde. She tried to make herself look blonde as possible. Okay, because like I said, she was going to a prominent white school. And basically what she was trying to do was she was trying to cop one of those prominent white guys who she felt like could give her a better life. That's why her parents sent her to an all-white prominent school, okay, because she felt like because of the way she looked, all she had to do was dye, dye her hair blonde, play the part, try to come as close to white as she could possibly get, hoping to earn the attentions of one of those prominent white guys out there. Okay, but what ended up happening was, she really couldn't fit in. Vanessa Bryant really could not fit in with that prominent society, with the prominent, white girls and white guys at that high school. So what she ended up doing was she went to go do a video shoot, because at that time, remember, her family comes from poverty. She's of Hispanic descent. They basically was immigrants at the time. So she still was not able to get that prominent white guy that came from a family with a lawyer and a doctor. She couldn't get the attention of them because Vanessa Bryant was in competition with with the white girls in her high school who also came from prominent families. So the white prominent guys, they was not checking for Vanessa Bryant. Okay, you got to realize her teeth wasn't fixed in. She didn't have that beautiful voluptuous body. She ain't had none of that at that time. So she was still getting overlooked. So that's when she resorted to going into doing video shoots. She started, going and slowly sliding into the rap star world, where she started doing videos. And basically she did her first video shoot with Snoop Dogg. I think the video was called Snoop Dogg and the East Siders. Snoop Dogg was with some group called the East Siders or something like that. But anyway, nevertheless, you YouTube it, you'll find it. She was 17, almost barely 18 years old when she did that video shoot. She was in the back seat of a convertible with just her bra on, just being a typical video vixen. Okay, back then that's how a lot of young females made their money. They featured themselves in a lot of rap star videos. Back then, you didn't have to do all of what you have to do now. Now you got to get silicone, you got to get butt injections, you got to get all kind of stuff now to even be considered to be a video vixen in a rap star video. Not only that, you probably got to let them run a few trains on you. You probably got to do all kind of stuff now to be featured in these rap star videos today. Back then, it didn't take a whole lot for females like Vanessa Bryant to get some type of feature on a rap video. So that is when Kobe Bryant and Snoop Dogg, they was friends at the time. You know how these celebrities, they all hang out together and all of that. And basically, that's how Mr. Kobe Bryant met Vanessa Bryant. He met her on Snoop Dogg's video shoot. Now, out of all the women he could have met, Out of all the women he could have been with, he was a man of high status. He chose to get with a low budget Hispanic female that came from a poverty stricken situation. All right. So basically, he took Vanessa up under his wing. And what ended up happening was, at the time, Vanessa was still going to school. Kobe was just in the peak of his career. He was picking her up in his Lamborghini, picking up, bringing her flowers. So you can only imagine being in high school at the time, and you see the Hispanic chick getting picked up in a Lamborghini with this all-time NBA star who's just getting big in his career peak. You know, you seeing this guy pull up in front of y'all school in his Lamborghini to pick up this low budget Hispanic chick. Okay? All right, let's just call it for what it is, because that's what it was. But nevertheless, anyway, something about her that Kobe really loved, apparently. You know, he had many options, but he loved Vanessa. Now, keep in mind, Vanessa was 17 at the time when he was dealing with her. He was 22, I think 21, 22, somewhere in that ballpark. His parents was dead set against him from getting with Vanessa because Vanessa was underage. Now, let Vanessa and everybody else tell it. They felt like Kobe shouldn't have been with her because she was Hispanic descent. That they felt like the Bryants didn't accept their marriage because she wasn't black. Now, I don't know. Allegedly, maybe not. I'm not sure. But Kobe Bryant's father made it very clear it had nothing to do with her skin color. He said he was against his son marrying her because she was underage. His son just became big in his prime of his career. He did not want his son to lose all of what he had built based on the strength that he was dealing with somebody underage. And I can understand as a parent, I would be fretful if my son, who's this big time basketball star, just not getting in the prime of his career, he's messing with this young broad. Not realizing that, okay, the moment, he falls out or gets into it with her people, now they suing him. Now now he's being charged for child molestation. No, statutory rape. That's what they call it. So Kobe Bryant's parents was very fretful of that. Of course. What's up, Naima Buckner? Thank you for the $4 donation, hon. So good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Again, thank you for the $4 super chat. So that's why Kobe Bryant's family was against Kobe and Vanessa marrying. It had nothing to do with her race. It had everything to do with her being underage. They didn't want their son losing all of what he don't work hard for because he's dealing with somebody that's underage. So what he did was, as soon as Vanessa Bryant turned 18, Kobe Bryant hurried up and married her. And of course, her family, they didn't buck on it, even though they knew she was young. Know why? Because Kobe Bryant was a millionaire. They ain't had a problem with him wanting their underage daughter, dealing with their underage daughter. 9 times out of 10, he knew that. So he probably, said, well, as long as they say I'm taking care of their daughter and I'm fronting their lifestyle too, they're not going to have a problem with it. So basically, that's what ended up happening. Vanessa Bryant and Kobe Bryant, they decided, hell or high water, we gonna be together. I don't care what my family says. I don't care what your family say. And I mean, righteously so, you got to do what's best for you. You cannot make decisions based on what your family think, what your friends think. You love somebody, you want to be with that person, you got to do what you got to do and let the chips fall where they may. So what ended up happening, and I believe I'm just going to be honest, and I'm going to be as transparent and try to be as respectful as I could possibly be. There are a lot of Vanessa Bryants out there. And what I mean by that is not that I don't sympathize with her because she lost her husband. I would never say she deserved what happened to her to happen. That would be cruel, and that would be very mean-spirited. I would never say that. I don't know her personally, anything about her. This is just my mere perception, This is how I perceive the situation. This is my assumption. I don't have facts or anything. This is just based mere assumption. What's up, Olo? I feel like once Vanessa Bryant had got with Kobe Bryant, whole world basically centered around just her husband and her children. I feel like once she became Kobe Bryant's wife, everything else outside of that, it meant nothing to her. Now, this is not to say she didn't love her family. I'm not going to say she didn't love her family anymore. I'm not going to say that she didn't come around and she did not have anything to do with her family. I'm sure she was still dealing with her family. I'm sure she still was bonding with them. But I truly believe that once her and Kobe got married, she just made her life surrounded by him and her children. And you have, and me being a married woman, the reason I can speak on this is because I know a lot of married women that do it. You have a lot of women that are very infatuated with the married life. And don't get me wrong, I don't see anything wrong with the woman that is very submissive to her husband, giving to her husband, loving to her husband. I think any woman that's a wife should make her husband feel important, should make him feel like he's the man of the house. She should make him feel like he holds a purpose in her life. But you have some women that treat their husbands like their husbands are their God, if that makes any sense to anybody. You have some women that take the word husband to a whole nother level. You have some women that are overly infatuated with their husbands to the point that they don't want nothing else but just their husbands. And this is not to say that you shouldn't love your husband, you shouldn't desire your husband, you shouldn't want your husband. I'm not deterring any woman from saying that she should not value her husband. But what I am saying is you have some women who really make their husbands their God, their Lord and Savior. Okay, and that's the vibe I kind of get from Miss Bryant, that when it came to Kobe, Kobe was the only thing that existed to her. Anything else outside of that, I don't think she really had any type of real love for anything other than him. That's just my opinion, okay? I mean, it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. But I know some married women who treasure nothing but their husbands. And that's it. You know, they have nothing to do with their family. They have nothing to do with people who was there for them before they got married. You have some women, once they get married, you know, it takes them to a whole nother level to where now they feel like they better than anybody. I got my husband. I don't need nobody. This is just me and him against the world. You have some women who really start smelling themselves when they get married. I'm just being frank. I know some women who think they the shit because they got a husband. I'm just saying, okay? Some and you got some men who the same way. You got some men who think their wives are all of that, even though people be seeing their wives dogging them or disrespecting them and treating them less than a man in the street. But in his mind, his wife is the best thing that ever happened to him. I mean, you got some guys out there too that think the world of their woman, even though she doesn't treat him like a man, she doesn't value him like a man, but you can't tell him nothing about his wife. You say one thing about his wife, he ready to punch you down, knock you out, anything. Even though everybody know his wife ain't worth a damn, you can't tell him that. You got some people, you cannot tell them they wife, they husband ain't nothing. You know what I mean? I know people personally. I know people, they wives, they husbands, treat them all kind of way, but you better not dare say nothing about it. You better not even approach them about it. You're not going to tell them, oh, my wife ain't this, my husband ain't that. You just can't tell certain people about their spouse. You know what I mean? So the vibe, again, that I get is that Vanessa Bryant thought she was higher than any and everybody when she got with her husband. That's the vibe that I had got. Okay? I said, I could be wrong. I don't know a damn thing. You know what I mean? My money don't even stretch no further. I can't even probably afford one of Vanessa Bryant's. I couldn't even afford her damn welcome mat rug on her damn front porch, okay? I'm sure Vanessa Bryant welcome mat rug is more expensive than my whole goddamn house, okay? So, nevertheless, when Vanessa Bryant got with Kobe Bryant, nothing else existed but him or her. Yeah, you got some women that are like that. She got a husband, she got her mansion, she got her cars, she got her beautiful children. And and nothing else mattered to her outside of that. If she dealt with you, she dealt with you. If she didn't want to deal with you, she didn't want to deal with you. She had a husband, she had her whole children. She ain't needed nobody else as far as she was concerned. And I think that's exactly what Kobe Bryant did. Now, again, I'm not saying this because I don't have any compassion for their loss. I'm very, very saddened by, the loss of, Kobe Bryant and her daughter is very painful. I could only imagine what she's going through. But I can say Kobe Bryant was probably the same way. Once he got with his beautiful Hispanic wife, nothing else really mattered. Everything else outside of that, now I'm not saying he didn't love his mama, he didn't love his daddy. I know he loved them. I'm sure he was still paying for their bills. I guarantee you, even if Kobe Bryant wasn't kicking out money like he used to, I guarantee you, he didn't let his family want for anything. I'm certain of that. He still took care of them. He still paid their utility. I'm sure his mother and father didn't have to lift a finger. But at the same time, his world only centered around his wife and his children. And sometimes as a married couple, there's nothing wrong with, just making it about y'all. But you can't make it so much about y'all to the point to where you cut everybody else out. Because things can happen. Things can happen. And in this case, it has happened. Vanessa and Kobe, they made their world only about each other. So I believe that is the reason why Vanessa Bryant is very angry. I can understand she's going through an emotional roller coaster. She's grieving. She's angry. She has a lot going on with her because she lost her husband and her daughter. So that anger probably stems from the fact that her husband, she made him basically her God. And now that he's not here, she's kind of lost without him. And I think it's a part of her where she's resenting other people to a certain degree. I'm not saying she's blaming everyone, but I think a part of her probably feels like, her husband had so much pressure to have to be great for her, for his family, for her family, and all of that. So basically, back to this point at hand. Vanessa came from poverty, all right? So when Kobe Bryant married Vanessa, her family was also able to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Vanessa coming from poverty, I'm sure his lifestyle was totally new to her. She knew nothing about Lamborghinis. She knew nothing about black cars. She knew nothing about dining at Ruth Chris. She knew nothing about that till she got with Kobe Bryant. And what it is, Kobe Bryant opened a whole nother world to Vanessa. Not only to Vanessa, but also to Vanessa's family who came from poverty. He opened her and her family to a whole nother world. And what you have to realize is when you take people from poverty and you bring them into a world of luxury, a lot of people cannot handle it. It's kind of like, for instance, if you are a rich man and you are a lawyer, a doctor, you making good money, you pick up a female from the bottom who's used to living in the projects, who's used to struggling, and you bring her into your world, she's not going to know how to respond to your world. Same thing being a woman. If you're a successful woman, you make your own money, you got your own home, you're doing really great, you're independent, you pick up a bum-ass dude that come from nothing, you move this dude into your mansion, you let this dude drive your Mercedes-Benz, this man is not going to know how to act. Whenever you get people from poverty people do not know how to handle fame or success. They don't. People from poverty, they cannot handle success and fame. So when Vanessa Bryant put her family on to Kobe's fortunes, of course they was going to take advantage. These people come from nothing. Their daughter married into a millionaire. So, of course, her probably wanting to make sure her family was straight, because at the time she was young. She let Kobe know, hey, if you're going to be with me, my family got to be straight. And Kobe Bryant wanting for Vanessa so bad, he was willing to do it. Okay, whatever I got to do to be with you. Because she was already underage, so Kobe had to do whatever he could for her family to stay in their good graces. Because at the time, Vanessa Bryant was underage. They could have took him to court. They could have sued him, charged him for statutory rape. But guess what? Money talks. Why you think all these parents all of a sudden want to sue R. Kelly? They knew good damn well R. Kelly been messing with their underage daughters. They ain't gave a damn because they was getting paid. You got a lot of parents, they will pimp their own goddamn daughters out, okay? And in a sense, Vanessa people, they probably pimped out to a certain degree. They knew Vanessa was underage for Kobe Bryant, but as long as Kobe Bryant was supplying and letting that dollar bills, producing them funds, they dealt with it. They didn't worry about it. So, basically now that Vanessa Bryant has made her family accustomed to this lifestyle of luxury through her husband. Because we already know Vanessa Bryant ain't about to give Kobe Bryant's family a dime. And in all honesty, she don't owe them that. She don't owe them that. That was something that Kobe Bryant had to decide. Because those are his people. They're not her people. So she is not obligated to taking care of the Bryants. If she does, that's going to have to be out the kindness of her heart. But she does not owe the Bryants anything because Kobe was a grown-ass man before he died here. And he was her husband. So when a man leaves mother and father, he becomes joined his wife. And it's as simple as that. So she don't owe his family anything. But now the tables have turned. Okay, you didn't look out for his family. That's fine. Like I said, she don't owe his family a dime. But now she's seeing her own family ain't no better. And even worse so, with Kobe Bryant's family, you expect them to a certain degree to benefit. And they have benefited because he took care of them before he died. But now her family has gotten so far out of control to the point she had to put her mom out. And she had to take her mother's car. Now, my thing is, what could have actually happened for Vanessa Bryant to get to that point? One or two things could have happened. Either the mother was trying to handle Vanessa, because, Vanessa's grieving. She's going through a lot. And, sometimes these mothers can be very goddamn demanding. And nothing can be more demanding than a single mother. Single mothers are very demanding when it comes to what their daughters are doing with their husband's money. Some of these single mothers who aren't married, they are quick to tell their daughters what they need to do with their husbands. You have a lot of these single mothers that act like they got all the guidance in the world when it comes to telling their daughter what they need to do when it comes to their husband. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing this with his money. You need to be buying this. You need to be buying that. I don't know if Vanessa Bryant's mother, now that Kobe Bryant is gone, she's trying to tell Vanessa what to do and constantly getting on her about what you need to do with his money, what you need to buy. Well, now that Kobe's gone, we need this. I need this. It probably got to a point to where Vanessa Bryant said, I can't take it no more. You got to go. You just as bad as my in-laws. Every time I turn around, you need something. You want something. You coming at me. I done sat here about your house. I done sat here about your Lamborghini. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm taking back the house and the car. I want you gone. See, the mother ain't telling both sides of the story. Because let me tell you something. Sometimes these older people can be real goddamn manipulative. They will sit up here and make it seem like their daughter just did them so wrong. Their son just did them so wrong. Some of these older people, sometimes your own parents can be manipulative as hell. Sometimes these parents, they be doing too much. You turn around, they need this, they need that, and they'll make you feel bad if you don't do for them. Well, I'm your mother. I'm your father. I'm down and out. My light's about to get turned off. Some of these parents will never let their children be great. You have some parents, they will always look for their children to take care of them. And it's sad, but I know somebody right now. They parents, when they was younger, they did not make good with their money. Now that they old and close to going into nursing homes, they still need their grown children to take care of them. You have a lot of these parents, when they young, they don't make the best wise decisions. They don't set themselves up straight, so they don't have to so they don't have to be codependent on their children. You got some parents who will live off of their kids for the rest of their life. You got some parents, you got to pay their water bill, their light bill, their gas bill. And on top of that, you got your own goddamn bills. And some of these parents, they don't care if you got your own family. They don't care if you got children. They don't care if you're struggling. You got some people, your mama and dad gonna call you anyway and tell you, I need this. I need that. I need help with my bills. They don't care that you got a family of your own. Especially these families from poverty. Now, if you come from a family where the parents are well off, they made good, they went to college, they saved up their money, they own property, they own land, then you're fine. But these broke down parents who always been in poverty, you're going to always have to take care of a parent in poverty for the rest of your life, for the rest of their days. That's just how it is. A parent that's in poverty is not going to allow you. It's not going to allow you to enjoy your life. They're going to always look for you to reach in your pockets and help them out. That's probably what happened with Vanessa Bryant. That's probably what happened. No matter how much she did, just like with Kobe Bryant, no matter how much he did, his parents kept wanting more, to the point they tried to sell the damn man memorabilia. They were trying to sell his ring, trying to sell his stuff. He had to go to court and stop his parents from selling and auctioning off his stuff. Now, Vanessa Bryant is finding herself in the same exact situation. Now, she got to cut her mom off. Because I'm telling you, these parents, they will try that guilt trip stuff on you, especially when you got some money. Now, I will say this. I disagree with how Vanessa Bryant handled the matter. I don't think she should have put her mother out the house. I don't think she should have repossessed her mother's car. Had it been me, had I had the money that Vanessa Bryant had, what I would have did, I wouldn't have took anything from her, but I would have downgraded significantly. All your mother need is a 2012 Toyota Camry with lifetime warranty. That's all Vanessa Bryant had to do. Take back the Lamborghini, the Mercedes Benz, whatever you bought for your mother. All Vanessa Bryant had to do was get her mom a 2012 Toyota Camry with a lifetime maintenance warranty. That way, no matter what went wrong with that car, Toyota would have fixed it for the rest of his days. Now, whatever big mansion, $300,000, $1 million, $2 million house she got her mama living in, I would have downgraded and had her live in a 2-bedroom house under $80,000. Guess what? Long as your mama can get around, as long as she got a roof over her head, that's all that matters. You don't have to put your parents out in the street. If you make that kind of money, just downgrade. Guess what? A Toyota Camry will get you around just as much as that Mercedes Benz. I would have provided my mother with the basics. Okay, since you want to get extra, you hitting me up every time I turn around, you need this, you need that. All Vanessa Bryant had to do was downgrade her mother's lifestyle. Because my thing is, if you want something bigger and better, then you go work for it. But as long as I'm supplying it, I'm going to give you what I want to give you. And if you got a problem with it, then you go out and you work for it. Because you got some of these parents, they think they're supposed to have the same lifestyle as their children. But if they did not work for it like you work for it, then they don't need to be up here making any demands saying, well, I want a Mercedes too. You got a Mercedes, why I can't have one? No, you 60, 70, 80 something years old. What the hell you need with a Mercedes Benz? I'm sure Vanessa Bryant's mother, she don't need no luxury vehicle. Exactly, time, uptown. That's what I'm saying. She did not have to put her mother out. Just downgrade. I would have put her in a little condo, one of them old folks' retirement homes. And you nice time uptown, cause I wouldn't even got her a 2020 Camry. I would have got her a 2012. Depending on how disrespectful she was, she wouldn't have got that. Guess what? Them 2012 Camrys, as long as it's well maintenance, that's what she would have got from me. I wouldn't even gave her 2020, depending on how disrespectful she was. But yeah, all she had to do was downgrade. So um Vanessa just needs to be careful because she has already witnessed that life can bring you some abrupt changes. Her mom is up in her age. When if she loses her mother? She already lost her husband and her daughter. At this point in time, Vanessa Bryant don't need to start ruffling too many feathers with her family because her family is all she got at this point in time. She cannot trust the Bryants. She don't trust them for whatever reason. And that's her choice. Nobody is supposed to make that choice for her. But at the same time, her mother, her family, that's kind of all she got. She really can't trust her friends. Because she don't know if people being cool with her just because of who her husband is. She got to be very careful. Sometimes your family is all you have. So, she just needs to be very careful because nobody knows it better than her. Life can bring about changes. Life can hand you some cards that you ain't prepared to deal with. She lost her husband. She lost her daughter. She needs to be very careful. She sees how it has affected Kobe Bryant family. Kobe Bryant did not make peace with his mother and his father, and look what happened. He died. He's not here to fix it. He's not here to make it right. That is even more the reason why Vanessa Bryant should be trying to make peace, because she sees how it has affected her children not being able to bond with their grandparents, basically because of the rift with Kobe Bryant and his parents. You cannot make it in this world by yourself. Everybody needs somebody. I don't care if you have millions. You have $1 million in the bank, but when your heart is aching, your heart is broke, you need to call somebody to vent. You need a shoulder to cry on. You're going to need somebody there for you. Money cannot comfort you, but so much. You can buy you that new Coach pocketbook, that new Michael Kors pocketbook, but at the end of the day, you cannot talk to that pocketbook. You cannot talk to that Lamborghini. You can't vent to that Lamborghini. You can't vent, to that $1 million mansion. You need somebody to be there for you. That's what a lot of people are not understanding. Okay? So, not only that, we could put that aside. So, my whole intake on Vanessa Bryant with her mother, she needs to fix that. She ain't got to be her mama best friend. She ain't got to have no Thanksgiving, no Christmas, none of that coming up with her mom. But she needs to try to set the record straight because life is short. She already lost her husband. She lost her daughter. Vanessa Bryant needs to fix that ASAP. And in the meantime, Vanessa Bryant's mother needs to stop running around, running her mouth and doing these interviews, because all it's doing is making things worse. People are already up here not really being compassionate about the fact that Kobe Bryant died. And on top of that, you're doing interviews so people couldn't throw more dirt on his name, because you up here trying to bring up other issues. So Vanessa Bryant, I feel like both of them need to try to resolve it. Next and last issue with Vanessa Bryant, she's suing the sheriff department, the police department, for the officers who took personal pictures of her husband's deceased body. What's up, Rollo? How you doing? Good to see you. So now Vanessa Bryant, Kobe Bryant's widow, is suing the police department. These police officers, which was way out of pocket, taking personal pictures. And these cell phones are deadly weapons, because all of these cell phones got what's called cameras. So now things that was hard to get, that took work to get, you can get them in a matter of seconds. Long as you got an iPhone, a smartphone, any phone, you can get any information right then and there. And that's what makes cell phones these days so damn dangerous, because it just takes one picture away. One picture away can change your whole lifestyle. Okay, so that's the bad and unfortunate part. Okay, no problem, Rollo. Well, I appreciate you for at least stopping by and showing some support. Appreciate you. So now she's suing the police department with every good reason. As a police officer, you have to be, you have to abide by policy. You cannot, um, you cannot, display any personal information when it comes to people's loved ones. You cannot be taking pictures of their dead bodies, of their deceased bodies, and posting it and showing other people. I remember they said one of the officers was actually drunk at the bar and was running his mouth too much, telling the one of the women there, yeah, I got a picture of Kobe Bryant's dead body on my phone, which was so goddamn uncool. You know what I'm saying? But like I was telling this person, on Facebook, I was arguing back and forth with these individuals, because basically what I was trying to tell them, I said, look, Kobe Bryant is a star. Had that been anybody else, they wouldn't have took no pictures of his dead body like that. They wouldn't have cared less. Had that been an average, regular person, nobody would have cared. But because it is Kobe Bryant, that's why they took them pictures of him like that. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. Because if it was my husband, I don't care if my husband is, working at Popeyes or is a star. Don't take no pictures of my deceased husband's body and go around showing it to people. It's embarrassing. It's hurtful. I don't think it was right. But like I was trying to tell these people who I was arguing with in the chat room, they tried to say that I'm agreeing with the fact that it's okay for people to take pictures of Kobe Bryant, and that was not what I was saying. What I was saying is, when it comes to being a celebrity, people don't care about your grieving. They don't care about what you're going through. People make money off of celebrities. No different than when Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina, drowned in the bathtub. Who was the one who gave the picture to the Inquirer? It was somebody in the goddamn family. You know why? Because they knew they was going to make some money off of it. People know they could profit off of celebrities' tragedies, off of celebrities' pains, off of celebrities' deaths. Why you think now, ever since Cardi B announced her divorce with Offset, they taking pictures of him, her everywhere now. He can't come out the damn restaurant without them taking a picture of him. Oh, Offset looks like he's moved on with his life. He's unbothered. People, that's the thing with being a celebrity. You cannot choose what people get to discuss and what people don't choose to discuss with you. Unfortunately, Vanessa Bryant will never be able to grieve in peace, because paparazzi is going to follow her foot to foot, basically because of who her husband was. They don't care that she lost him, which they should. They don't care that she lost her daughter. It's human nature for people to show some kind of compassion when somebody loses a loved one in such a tragic way. But paparazzi and the media never has been compassionate about these celebrities. These celebrities cannot die in peace. Once these paparazzi or media get a hold of any kind of dirt or any kind of information, they're going to let it be out. God forbid, and I'm not saying this is the case, but God forbid if Kobe Bryant had an outside child or something, which I know that's not true. Let me make sure I put it out there. It's not true. I'm just saying, hypothetically, just using an example. They will bring that out, not even care that Vanessa is still grieving over losing her husband. That's unfortunate when it comes to being a celebrity. They don't care about what you go through. They want to make a profit off of your story. And that is what I was trying to explain to these people in the chat room. I hate it when people profiting off of celebrities' death is so unethical and evil as hell. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, Houston. That's my point. They want to make a profit off of other people's pain and misery. And if you ever want to become a star, you ever want to become a celebrity, Don't just look at the limousines, the luck, the fame, the notoriety. Because guess what? When something disastrous happens in your life, they're not going to have any empathy with you. You can't grieve in peace. And I hate to say it, Vanessa Bryant is never going to be able to grieve in peace. They're not going to let her grieve in peace. They're not going to let her deal with her husband's death by herself. And as a wife, she does deserve to grieve over her husband peacefully. But the world we live in, that's not going to happen. So anyway, I just want to do this content. It's been a rough 2020 has been a rough year for Vanessa Bryant. I hope God gives her the peace and the comfort that she needs. Now she has to sue the police department because these pictures done leaked out. I don't know how far she's going to get with that. But the police department, me working for a police department, that's one thing I know. People, when it comes to confidential information, as an officer, you are supposed to protect anybody's personal information. Nobody should be able to see pictures of the victims dead, burnt up, or laying on the side of the highway with stab wounds. All of that stuff should be kept inside the department that handles it, forensics. I think it's forensics, or the investigative unit. All of that stuff should be kept confidential. I don't know how it leaked out, but I know when it comes to money, people will do anything. Even people in the law. Somebody say, "Hey, I'll pay you $2,000-$3,000 if you can bring me one picture of him deceased." Money. Once you bring up money to people, all morals go out the door. Whoever in that department, they knew good damn well they had no business doing that. They had no business sharing that man's personal information, of his body being disfigured. Because we all know that plane was such a horrific crash. That man didn't look nothing like himself. We already know that. None of those people on that plane looked like none of themselves. That plane hit that mountain and came into a ball of flame. Nothing is hardly left of them individuals. Whatever is left is nothing that I don't think they loved ones should have to see. Think about it. If that was your mother, your daughter, your father, your son, your daughter, you don't want nobody bringing you no picture and no mess like that. And that's part of being a celebrity, y'all. People become so fascinated with you. People, you have a lot of people, they're very infatuated with certain celebrities. People are so infatuated with celebrities, they want to know what kind of food they eat. They want to know what kind of Starbucks latte they get when they go order it. These celebrities, people forget celebrities are human beings. That they hurt like us. Guess what? Oh, just in case some of y'all didn't know, some of y'all probably didn't know this. Y'all know celebrities do die, right? Y'all know celebrities do pass away. Just in case you didn't know, celebrities do get in car accidents. They do get in airplane accidents. They do go through tragedy. Money does not make you exempt from tragedy. Okay, just in case anybody out there forgot, at the end of the day, none of us are exempt. We all, at some point or another, going to have to face tragedy in some form or another. So, the best thing we can do is continue to keep praying for Vanessa, asking God to uplift her, give her peace, give her closure, with this, tragic event that has forever changed her life. People keep forgetting, not only she lost her husband, she lost her daughter. This woman lost her daughter. Let's not forget. Let's not forget the people who was on the plane with Gianna and Kobe when this happened. Nobody hardly wants to talk about those families. And I guess what? I bet you these individuals who are showing pictures of Kobe Bryant, I bet they're not showing pictures of the other family members. You know why? Because they don't have the same level of stardom that Kobe Bryant has. So, keep in mind when you become a star, whatever death pictures you have of you, they have of you, they're going to be floating it around. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. The only thing you can do is protect your privacy to the best of your ability. Okay, so on that note, I definitely want to thank each and everybody for catching my live. Don't forget, guys and ladies, I do sell cable, 10,000 channels for only $26 a month. So if you're interested in getting cable, please get an Amazon Fire Stick and make sure you have the internet, and I can connect 10,000 channels today for you for only 26 bucks. Just cash at me and I will hook up your cable within 5 minutes. So anyway, y'all, I got to go in and work tonight. I got to babysit these overgrown children. So look up for my next upload. I'll probably be uploading something tomorrow, depending on how I feel. So it's been blessed, everybody. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, showing your love. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody who's been rocking with me through this whole journey. If you haven't subscribe, please make sure you subscribe before you exit and before you leave. Hit that notification bell so the next time I upload something, you will not miss out on it. Y'all be blessed and take care. It's been awesome. Later.